Hello and welcome. This is how to create a comic, and we are starting here with my old characters that I would like to create into my new comic. I have this female character and this female character, and they will merge into the same character. I like one's hair, the other one's hair color. And then the two boys. I will probably be keeping them the same. So the very first thing you gotta do is basically have an idea. There's not really anything I can do to help you with your idea. You kind of gotta think of it on your own, otherwise it's not unique to you. But you probably would not even be watching this video if you had no idea of what you wanted your comic to be about. The next thing I would suggest after you have your idea is making your characters. Some people will make their characters first and their ideas second, but most people, I think, start with the idea. So here are my characters, and I am just revamping them. They're old ones that they never really got any kind of attention. The boys I tried to do several things with, but the girl, Candy, she was supposed to go in a comic and I had to cut her out. She was just too time consuming and didn't add anything to the storyline. And I really wanted her to be a main character, and she would have just been a side character in that comic. So with this one, she'll be the main character, and then the boys will be her, like, side characters or friends or whatever. So the first thing I suggest is just sketch them out and see what you like. I wanted to see if they actually looked good together and if her hair looked good the way that I was planning it in my head, with the one's color and the other one's haircut. And the boys, I pretty much had their physical descriptions already. Their hair is exactly the same. They're mostly the same colors. As you can see, I'm taking my color pencils and trying out all the different colors, and if I like the colors, then that's when I actually color them on the characters. And up above you'll see that I've written down the colors that I liked so that I can match them later. Thankfully, these color pencils, which are Crayola, I believe, have all of the names on them, so it's easy to know which ones I used at the time. So I'm just trying out all the colors, basically. This technique does not obviously have to be done with color pencils. If all you've got is crayons, or you prefer computer drawing or watercolor, or whatever it is that you like and you're comfortable with, that is what I would suggest you use. Using a medium that you're not real comfortable with is probably not a good idea at this point. You want to feel comfortable with your medium if you are working on characters that you're obviously not comfortable with, since they are currently being created. For these characters, I already had a lot of their clothes designed. It was pretty easy for me. But if you don't have their clothes, you may find that you are drawing them a lot more than I did. You may draw their clothes many times over. Or if you don't have their personalities, you might do facial expressions and stuff for them a lot more. But for me, this part was kind of easy, since these were old characters I was revamping rather than new characters I was creating. You'll also see to the right there, as I was doing things, I was making little notes. If something occurred to me that I wanted in the story, or if for this particular thing, you'll see that I have names that I was considering calling the comic, because this comic was as of yet unnamed, and the name is one of the most important parts. If you don't have a good name that's easy to remember, then people aren't going to search for your comic or anything. You want them to remember the name, so if they lose the link, they could be like, oh, I remember this name, so I'll just search for it. If you have a really crazy name, then it's too difficult for them to remember. Anyway, so if things occur to you, even if you're the slightest bit worried that you will not remember them later, just make a note. You're sketching. It's a sketchbook. You can sketch your brain? I don't know where that came from, but that's kind of what I thought of when I was writing notes instead of making actual sketches. But it's basically things my brain were saying that I was very, very worried I would forget later because I knew I didn't know the name of this particular comic yet. The next thing that I designed down here is the logo for the first page of the comic. I also think that this is pretty important. You want it easy to read. You want it to have something to do with your comic so that it tells people right away when they see the cover, oh, this is about this. It's so that they know if they're going to be interested in it. They say that you can't tell a book by its cover, but that's BS. Everybody looks at the cover and decides instantly whether they want to read that. So it's best if you make the cover have something to do with the actual comic inside. If I had gone with that banner lettering, it wouldn't have gone with my storyline of some kids finding ruins in a forest. So I had to design some sort of logo that would show ruins so that people who are interested in that sort of thing would be interested in this comic. So I came up with my idea pretty quickly, but there have been times when I've done 20 or 30 of these to make sure it was what I needed it to be. Now that I have my 3 cute little characters and my cute little logo, I'm really ready to move on to the next step, which would be, of course, storyboarding the first chapter. So that's how I plan my characters. Next time we will be planning some thumbnails and deciding what medium we want to use. I will probably stick to this color pencil medium. I want something I can easily do on the go so that I can take this with me. So what I'll probably do is make a template of this and make it much larger with more detail in this little area with the characters. And once I make the template, then I can just put it behind each page. Oh wow, some of it came through. That some of these dots don't correspond to anything. Strange. Anyway, so, alright, the template so I could put it behind and just copy it because I don't want it to be different every time. Thanks for watching. Let me know if there's something specific you want to see. I have some things planned and I will continue this series. Thanks for watching. Bye. Bye.